Today, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to obtain Spain's Schengen Visa and how to apply for one 50% faster with an almost 100% approval rate. Note that this video is specifically targeted at Africans. So if you're an African and you're planning to move into Spain, then you need to watch this video and hit the subscribe button. Yes. A Spain Schengen visa will allow you to visit not just Spain, but also 25 other Schengen countries for a maximum of 90 days within 180 days. If you're planning to travel to Spain for tourism, business, visiting family, this video is for you because I will walk you through the entire process, step by step, including how to gather your documents, book an appointment, ace your visa interview. So grab a pen and a paper and let's get started.
Nomads.
What is a Schengen visa? So Schengen visa is a kind of visa that is being given to you in order for you to be able to travel to a particular country in Europe. And what is unique about the Schengen visa is that it's tied to other country states in Europe, whereby you can actually get a Schengen visa to a country in Europe and get a resident permit in the country. And in fact, it makes your life so much easier to be able to visit other European countries in Europe as well. So for Africans, this visa is a golden ticket to exploring Europe. But before you apply, it is necessary to know that you have to choose the right kind of visa. Before then, you're welcome back to Nomads. This is a channel where we talk about Spain, travel, culture, and everything in one place. Yes, if you're looking for guidance on visa, culture, what to do, then this channel is actually for you. And I'm thinking, why haven't you subscribed at this time? All right, now let's talk about the type of visas. Yes, the first thing you need to know is to determine the type of visa you need. Spain offers several types of Schengen visas, depending on the purpose of your visit. The most common ones include tourist visa. For tourist visa, use it for travel, for sightseeing, visiting Spain as a tourist. Business visa or entrepreneur visa, whereby you can come and set up a business in Spain, or you want to attend a conference or meeting. Or digital nomads, the visa whereby you come to Spain to work for a company remotely. And you have the visiting visa, you have the student visa that allows you to come and school and study in Spain. You have the family reunification visa and lots of visas on the line. This is why you have to make sure that you are choosing the right kind of visa. Many people get disapproval or rejected because their visa type does not match the documents they submit, and as a result of that, they end up being disappointed. Let's talk about number of entries and validity. Applicants can request a specific number of entries, but the visa officer will ultimately decide. Here's what you need to know. Number one is the single entry visa. This allows you to enter the Schengen area once. That means when you are making your plans of travel, please note this. The double entry visa allows you to enter twice, and the multiple entry visa allows you to enter as often as you want within the visa's validity period. And you can stay in Spain depending on the number of days given to you or the number of weeks upon which you go for a visa renewal. I watched a video of a woman that said she didn't know that the single entry visa was just a single entry into the Schengen area, and as a result of that, she was denied access to her travel to Barcelona. So when you receive your passport with the visa, make sure to read it carefully and note the number of entries given to you in order for you to be able to plan your travel accordingly. Now, the number of days you're allowed to stay in the Schengen area is determined with the type of visa given to you as well. Let's talk about gathering all your required documents. Gathering all the required documents is the most important part of this process. So pay attention. Here is what you will often be asked of in your application process. Regardless of your visa type, these things will be surely required from you. Number one, you need the visa application form. You can get this from your consulate website or from the embassy, the Spanish embassy in your country. You need photographs. You need 2 recent passport photographs that are taken in a white background, and your face must be clear. And you also need a valid passport. Yes, there is no travel without a passport, right? A valid passport that has at least 3 months validity beyond your stay and 2 blank pages. You need bank statements. Yes, bank statement that will show 3 months, at least 3 months of showing sufficient funds. And you need a travel insurance, or should I say a health insurance, that is at least 30,000 euros in medical expenses. Then you need a proof of accommodations, hotel bookings or invitation letter from a host in Spain, or even a proof of flight. You also need that. You don't need to buy a ticket yet, you just need a reservation. And you also need proof of financial means. I've mentioned that before. Bank statement, maybe you have sponsorship letter, declaration of commitment or something. Then if you're visiting somebody, you need an invitation letter. If you're married, you need to present your marriage certificate, your birth certificate, and the rest. You also need a police report. Africans are mostly required to provide a police report. So you need that from your police in your country. And for minors, a consent letter signed by both parents and copies of their passport is required. Now let's talk about the proof of funds. Proof of funds is also required sometimes to show your financial capacity. You will also need an email address. Yes, this email address is required for correspondence purposes. Maybe the embassy wants to communicate with you. Your email address will be needed. Get a working email address. You need a receipt. You have to pay a visa fee, and this receipt is a receipt of the visa fee that you paid for. Now, what is the next thing to do after getting all your required documents? The next thing is legalization and translation of documents. Legalize and translate your document. It's often required that most documents require official authentication before submitting. And some official documents like birth certificate or bank statements may require authentication by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in your country. Then you need to translate all these documents. If your document is not in Spanish, then you must have them translated by an accredited translator. You can't just give your document to be translated to anybody. The embassy might likely reject it. So you have to give it to an accredited translator, and the translation should be done properly in order for your visa to not be rejected. Then you need to know about booking an appointment. Most consulate and visa centers require you to book an appointment, and this is a tricky aspect whereby many people find very tricky. Getting an appointment for Schengen visa might be very, very challenging, but then you have to be on the lookout. You have to always watch their website, check for open slots, visit the embassies, and be sure that you get a slot. The next is the visa fee. Here's how much a Schengen visa will cost you. Spain Schengen Visa approximately. For adults, you'll be required to pay approximately 85 euros, or should I say 80 euros, $85. You can convert it to your currency. For children 6 to 12 years, 40 euro. For children under 6 years is free. Okay, so make sure that you pay these fees, and note that this fee is unrefundable. So make sure your application is accurate and complete before submitting. Now, let's talk about submitting your visa application. You've gathered your documents, you've paid your visa fee, you've done everything, you've legalized and translated your documents. So now it's time for you to submit your application. Once you book an appointment, ensure that your documents are arranged properly. Yes. Pay the visa fee and submit your application at the embassy. So, to apply for the Spain Schengen visa, you will need the official application form. And depending on where you are in Africa, there are 2 ways to get the form. Number one is via the Spanish embassy or consulate. In some countries in Africa, you can get the visa application directly through the embassy or consulate. So, If you're applying through the embassy, you just go to the website of the official embassy, Spanish embassy in your country, download the application form, and or you pick it up in person at the visa section, at the embassy visa section. For me, I had to pick up mine in Nigeria. Then you download the form, you fill out the information, then submit it. The second way is through third-party visa agencies like BLS International and VFS Global or TLS Contacts. So if you're applying through one of these agencies, you need to go to their website, download the form, then do the necessary. So this is a sample of how the form looks. You are to provide your surname, your first name, your information. I told you before that you're going to need a passport photograph with a white background. So you attach one to this form. You put your passport number, your dates of issue and expiry, contact address, your travel information. A lot of things are being required at this particular form. And when you've already filled it, you sign at the later part. You can see the part where you have to sign and acknowledge that all this information are valid and true as regards to yourself. So then you do the needful afterwards. Now, when you've submitted your application, the next thing that knocks on the door is your visa interview. Yes. So now it's time for you to attend your visa interview. You have to be very, very, very confident and honest at this point, because you will be asked, why are you visiting Spain? How long will you stay? Where will you be staying? You have to dress professionally, be prepared, and note some key questions. So most of all these questions will be asked to you, and many more depending on the kind of visa that you're applying for. So after submitting the application form, it may take between 15 working days to a month. I'm speaking from a Nigerian perspective. It might take longer depending on your country of origin. The processing time depends on the number of applications the embassy is treating at the time you submit yours. So applicants like you are advised to submit valid documents, fill out forms with correct information so your application will not be rejected. If your application is submitted, they will contact you by mail and your address or even your phone number. When I got my visa to come to Spain, I was given a phone call, okay? And when I got the phone call, I was so elated and happy. And so you might be given a phone call, put a working phone number, working email address, so that when you get the good news, you do not hesitate to go and pick up your passport and your visa. Now, when you've seen your visa and you've been approved, check the visa to ensure accuracy. If there is any error, contact the consulate immediately. Now, that aside, let's talk about tips for you as an African applying for Spain Schengen Visa. Applying as an African for Schengen Visa, Spain Schengen Visa might be challenging, but these tips will help you. Try to apply early, at least 3 months or 6 months before your travel. And at least be honest in your interview. Do not show any sign of fear. Do not show any sign of fidgeting or anything. Prepare for the interview and seek professional help. And if you need somebody to talk to or counsel you as regards to visa, relocation, and everything within, you can contact me at www.nomads.com. And that is it, dear friends. You can roll in your questions now, and I will do my possible best to answer some of them that I can answer in the comments. And if I can't answer, you are free to write to me via my website at www.nomads.com, where you get more detailed response for your questions. And even there is an offer going on right now that special people will be given special discounts in order to access my law services. Yes, because I am affiliated to a group of lawyers in Spain who speak English, who can help you with your process and even give you more guidance than I would. All right then, thank you for watching, dear friends. Adios.